Hey everybody, it's your Pinoy boy, Pinoy Night, Carlo de Los Angeles, and I'm with the lovely Erica Schroeder.
Hello.
And she formerly was the voice of Luffy, but what is your favorite and current work nowadays to do?
Well, I love obviously doing voiceover work. I don't know if you wanted specifics or not, but I'm really enjoying working on podcasts right now.
Ooh.
I'm doing a lot of animation as I normally do. I worked on a project recently with Signa Bauman. She's a Latvian animator who does incredible work that usually involves something about her personal life and telling her personal story. And that's coming out in 2019, and it's super incredibly awesome. I'm so excited. And who's working on it? A couple of the actors from Stranger Things, Matthew Modine, and a couple of the actors from Shameless, the two redheads,
yes.
Emma Kenny and Cameron Monaghan. And I was lucky enough to be asked to be involved, and I get to sing in it actually, which is
Really?
Yeah. And podcasting, I'm just really enjoying because as an actor, a theater actor first, I enjoy being versatile, and trying on different voices and different things like that. So podcasting, you can have a series where you can be the 8 different characters in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just an exercise in versatility and vocal separation and trying to make each character distinct in, emotionally, vocally, and personality-wise. And so it's like just an actor's dream to try diversifying and getting as many roles as you can, and it's exciting.
Just so I could put up the link on later,
Sure.
What is the podcast called? Do you
know,
or
there's
are you
a
not
couple
allowed to?
different ones I'm working on.
Okay.
I just did one called Grim, Grimmer, and Grimmest on Pinna, which is for kids, and it was really cute. It was released one episode per day before Halloween, and then I did another one for another children's podcast called Season Isle, I loved it. It was also for Pinna. And then, but my favorite, oh my gosh, stuff more for adults is the Truth podcast. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it.
No,
It's been on all things considered, and
NPR,
it's been
right?
featured. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an incredible podcast where there's just each episode is its own thing. Kind of like I'm trying to think of shows that are like that. Like every episode has nothing to do with the episode before. There's
Sounds
a word
like
for
Space
it. But anyhow, I've done 2 episodes of those, and one of them was so crazy close to, it wasn't close to me, but it was about a woman who played male characters in voiceover, and how she got stuck as being just that. And it's got a crazy twist, and she gets to
Don't ruin it. No,
I'm not gonna ruin it because it's only 13 minutes, but it is unbelievable. And Mark Thompson's in that with me. And then we did another one called Bright Star Official, I think, or they may have changed the name. That might have been the original script name, but that was like a parody of Super Friends, but political. So it's it's cool. Yeah. So I've worked on a bunch of different podcasts, but I'm also working on probably 14 or 15 films and series right now, but not all of them are out, so some of them are under NDA. The new Pokemon movie's coming out.
So if I was to say
Yeah.
I remember you were voicing a Pokemon or an actual person. I cannot remember. I know you were going to be in the Pokemon movie, so I was like.
Yeah, well, I can't actually say what I'm doing.
Don't worry about it.
But I can say that I'm going to be Eevee because everybody knows that.
My fiance would love you, by the way.
It's like when I first started voicing.
Yeah.
I did Sylveon and Flareon first. Been doing those for a long time, but then I took over for Casey Rogers, who was the original Eevee. Well, actually, I don't know if she was even the original. She may have taken over for someone else.
Yeah.
But it was also one of those that they, like Pikachu, that they pulled. So they could use the Japanese name for Eevee was very similar. So a lot of it, they actually just used the Japanese actress. Okay. So there haven't been too much. Yeah. So there haven't been too many VAs or episodes where Eevee has been voiced by an American actress.
I'm pretty sure people will be surprised when they're like, wait a minute, I know that voice. So, regarding that, what do you do to not like burn yourself out? Like just in terms of everyday life, like you just do work and then like, what do you do to just chill out? Like,
Oh, that's such a great question. I don't have a lot of time to chill out, to be honest, but I have kids, and so anytime I'm chilling out, it's obviously with them. I have you're probably going to ask me something like this later, but
maybe, I don't know.
some advice for voice actors and people in general when you want to have a career like this, and you might want to have a family too, would be you want to be good at time management. Time management is everything.
I'm not. Sorry, I was looking at the camera saying,
He's not. I thought he was saying, cut. No, let's not talk about this because it's an embarrassing subject for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to like, I allot certain times of the day and certain days of the week for different things. And then some days are half day this, half day that. If I don't do that, if I don't write lists and check it off every day, not everything gets done. And it's an intense and immense amount of thing because I'm communicating with conventions and convention agents. I'm communicating with casting directors, producers, my voiceover agents, my manager. So I answer to like probably 12 to 15 people a day that I have to answer to besides my family and besides the projects that I'm currently working on. So it's crazy, it's chaotic, but it feels non-chaotic when I've plotted out when I'm getting back to these people, when am I recording auditions, when am I going in and recording, when am I voice coaching, I coach young actors and stuff, and it's just time management, it's huge.
And you're a mom, like, my mom was a single mom, so I always appreciate just moms who just do all their work and still spend time with their kids. So I'm one of two children, so.
That's amazing. Yeah, my husband and I were living apart for like 5 years because our jobs were in different cities. So I think your mother's amazing. I have so much respect for single parents because it is it's a huge job. It's not just making sure that they're alive every day and clothing them and feeding them. It's also like teaching them how to be a good person. And it's intense and immense and should never be taken lightly. And
you still find time for it. Like
yeah,
here, you still spend time at home. Like,
yeah, I only do I won't do more than one a month because I need that that time at home. But also I stopped doing theater production, which is 8 shows a week, once I had my second child, because what's more important to me is putting them to bed at night. It's just it's way more important because I can be an actor on Broadway when I'm 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. What I can't do is have children that want to be read a bedtime story.
Prioritize.
I mean, you have to prioritize. So now like I'm doing more voiceover and more. I'll do readings and workshops and concerts of new works, but I don't do production because it just can't be there for them, So, and my favorite time of the day is putting them to bed. It's my favorite thing, and I get to practice all my voices.
Let me show them this video later. Just tell them she loves you guys, by the way. So talking about your children for a second. Mind me asking, how old are they really fast?
Well, they both are just switching ages. My daughter just turned 11, and my son is turning 9 on Tuesday.
Do they like anime and stuff like that?
They do. They love Pokemon.
Have they? Okay.
My son, and he just started watching Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
I can teach him how to.
Yeah, and they did watch a little bit of my version of One Piece because I had a couple of DVDs and stuff, and then my son was like, "I want more," and I was like, "I don't think there are any more,"
It's like talk to Colleen for that.
But when he's when he's older, I was like, "You can watch the other version," and because we're pretty protective about content for them, because you want to make sure they're not seeing something or hearing something too early because nightmares and all kinds of stuff.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Is there? Love that movie. Love that movie.
It's such a good movie. Is there a time where your children's friends, they were just like, "Oh my God, your mom is who?"
It's funny. It's happened a couple times, but like I just went in and read to each of their classrooms, and yeah, and sometimes the teacher will say like, we're working on this, can you read this to them, or sometimes they'll just be like, bring in whatever you want. So I love to bring in. I read for Halloween, so I brought in like Mickey and the Seven Ghosts and did all the voices of Mickey Mouse and Goofy and everybody and Donald Duck. And it's funny because I can't talk as Donald Duck, so my shtick is when I get to anytime Donald talks, I just go and like get like super pissed off, and then all the kids every time, just the whole class is like ah, and then I have to like translate what Donald actually said. But they love when I come in and read to their classmates. I did a convention at the library that was local, and my daughter and son invited all their friends and stuff, so they came in, and I got to have them all at my panel, and it was like so different, but really sweet.
So I assume your children and even your husband are just impressed with the work you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because my husband knows what I do. I do come home and I talk about it and stuff, but he doesn't like follow any of it. You know what I mean? It's just it's totally fine. It's like it would be as if I followed like every single little thing that he does. You know what I mean? But of course he takes an interest in it, and he supports me in what I do, because
you're married.
You have to. It's crazy. Like being an actor. Like and also I used to be on stage all the time. Romantic scenes, falling in love with men and women. I've done a couple projects, where I've fallen in love with a woman on stage. And so my husband has to be secure. You have to have a very secure spouse to let you be in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's just a lot of trust.
Yeah, a lot of trust, and yeah.
I'm getting married in next November, so I'm kind of
congratulations! That's so exciting.
I'm kind of nervous about it, but
It's awesome.
How was just for my own benefit, how stressful was the wedding planning?
Oh my gosh. Well, we did it all ourselves, and I made the crazy choice of like making all of our invitations. And something went really, really wrong. Thank goodness I'm crazy and anal retentive and like type A, because I decided I'm gonna send one to my future mother-in-law just to see if it goes through the mail well, and because I was like, I'm aware I'm making these. So what happened was like there was a friction, and like the ink like moved all over the page. So then I had to put like pieces of rice paper kind of like between every single section of the invitation, and then send it again to her. But thankfully I had left myself a ridiculous window of time to do all of this, because you get auditions last minute. It's due in 12 hours, it's due in 24 hours, it's due in 40 hours. You get like 5 of them, and if, like I said, if you don't have your life structured, your other parts of your life structured, and that comes into and adds to your chaos, like it's crazy. So I always start things early. Like I am not a procrastinator. But yes, it was incredibly stressful, but also really fun.
I assume the second you get there, it's like, we're at the wedding finally, let's have cake, kiss, and eat. Basically is what it is.
Yeah, we hired a swing band.
Nice.
It was like the biggest part of our budget, but it was so worth it, because we were like, I was like, my husband's a musician, so we were like, we are not having a DJ, so we had like an 8-piece swing band, and it was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had that money.
No. I mean, you can get it. You have to just figure out, like we did our own invitations. That was cheaper, You figure it out. You budget it out, and you go, I can spend a little bit more here, and a little bit less there. And we only had 60 people at the wedding, though. So.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't afford that much more at that point,
Don't. There's I guess I didn't know if you're running out of time, but I know you have to go to your I assume an autograph session?
Yes.
So last 3 questions.
Sure.
The first one's gonna be a very simple one. How are you liking here in Michigan? How are you liking it in Youmacon?
I love it here. I actually spent time in Michigan before.
Sorry about the weather. Just point that out there.
I did 2 seasons. I don't know if you guys know what Hope Summer Repertory Theater is in Holland, Michigan.
Yes.
I did 2 seasons there.
Oh.
So I played Cinderella in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which was like a dream role because I love singing Rodgers and Hammerstein. It's like one of my favorite composers and lyricist teams in the world. And then I did Doreen in Tartuffe, so Moliere, and the narrator in Joseph and Liz in Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh,
like
okay.
some cabaret stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and I'm enjoying it. Everyone is super sweet here. The fans are amazing. They've got us doing a lot of programming, which is cool because then we get to spend a lot of time with the other voice actors and a lot of time with the fans and stuff. So, and I think it's really nice to the fans that they have us so engaged, because sometimes you go to a convention and they're like, you're going to just do this signing today and then just that panel, and like then you have the rest of the day and you're like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's nice because you're like, I have all this free time, but at the same time, you know, you want to give the fans what they want is one-on-one time, you know.
And I think it's great that there's like voice actors and actresses like you, Tatum, Wendy, Shirami, that come out, have a grand old time, and then it's my favorite thing about it, especially after going to all these conventions, that you guys are also normal people in normal lives. And that's, everybody forgets that, and I forgot. I didn't even realize it for like 3 years, and I felt really bad about it. But I mean, sorry, Tatum.
Yeah, like most of us don't have maids or cooks. Like we're cooking our own meals and folding our own laundry. That's the one thing. If I could get help in one way, I would love to have someone come to my house and do all the laundry of my whole entire family, fold it and put it away.
Make those kids do it, man.
Yeah.
They're getting older, so. So I mean, talking about like relationships and coming back home and having a family, like, what would you give for people like me, but people who are watching?
Pursuing your dream.
Relationship. Relationship. Like what?
Relationship advice? Oh,
yeah,
I love
just
this.
like your relationship, engagement, fiance,
Okay.
marriage advice. Like, what is the one thing you would like to tell?
Check in every day. If you can't physically check in with like a hug or something, check in with a conversation and check in with them and ask them how they are emotionally. I know that's like a weird thing to say, but like sometimes you just get so busy and you're doing your thing that you don't check in with each other, and you know, ask, you know, are you happy? Are we happy? Is this working? Like, can I give you something else? Is there something that I'm not giving you that you need? It's like a weird thing to say, to put it that specifically, but it's really important to do, and I think a lot of relationships, a lot of people don't, and I think that's where people start going their separate ways.
That's good. It's because I know you had like long distance relationships. There's so many people in the world nowadays that have.
Yeah, and then sometimes I was away working 8 weeks. You know, regional theaters, 4 weeks of rehearsal, 4 weeks of performance. So there was a lot of times we were separated for months at a time, and it was difficult. But it was important to check in and also to establish, if you're going to be away for a certain amount of time, you have to come at this point. Like, you have to know what your point is where you need to see your spouse. Like, if you guys are traveling a lot, everyone has different rules. Like, ours was like 3 weeks, like 3 to 4 weeks. I'm not going 3 to 4 weeks without seeing you. So, yeah, you have to establish what you both need, you know. So
that's good. So I guess the last question is, if you were to sum it up in one word, what would you tell people who need to follow their dreams? It doesn't have to be voice acting, doesn't have to be anything that they want to do. What
one word?
That one word.
Perseverance.
This is Erica Schroeder, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Once again, this is your Pinoy Boy, Pinoy Night. Erica Schroeder, ladies and gentlemen.
So
no, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the opportunity and time. And I will send you the video, and you guys will see this on YouTube. So
awesome.
Have a good day.
Bye.